Hi there, this presentation is on the Daxi coin listing process as of June 2020, and it's the update of the original one that we did a couple of months ago because we've moved on to stage 2 of the listing. So if you're interested in our coin, what we want to do is to explain our strategy, because what we're doing is different and we want you to really appreciate what we're doing and the potential of what we're doing. But if you have any other questions, just ask. I'm going to go through this presentation pretty quickly because I want to cover a lot of ground. But as I said, if you have any questions, just please ask us. I'm going to talk about financial things, but I'm not giving advice. If you want to make an investment decision around us and are not quite sure, please take professional advice. So the Daxi coin, we believe it's the world's first wealth building coin because our ecosystem is focused on wealth building. We believe that the next generation of people coming into this market space, especially because of the assets that are coming in, are going to be what's called wealth builders. Where traditionally crypto is focused on the younger crowd, our interest is in their parents and grandparents because they control 90+% of the world's wealth. And so we've created this platform, and the currency is used on that platform either to accelerate the growth of our crypto wealth network, and this era of crypto wealth I'll talk about, but it's massive. The most important use of the coin is to drive a new global innovation funding system, which we think will be $1 trillion niche by the end of this decade. And we've spent a few years developing the business, and now we're launching that global network, and it's important that we actually list and develop a highly credible, externally liquid Daxi coin. So that's our big focus for this year, and we've entered the second stage of that platform. And the key focus of this system is to create the liquidity, the buying and selling to underlying the asset. All credible assets have fundamental, stable liquidity of a community of people who believe in what they're doing, excited about their future. And to do that, you've got to prove that you've got leadership in a credible niche with real intrinsic demand. I mean, customer demand for your coin, not just speculating because you think it's going to be valuable. The next thing is that you've got to be listed on leading exchanges, and obviously you've got to have a strong community of crypto traders. And so to achieve that, we have this strategy of 3 stages. We've done stage 1, listed on a tier 3 exchange. It's been successful. Now we're moving on to the second stage. So these are bigger exchanges, decentralized exchanges, big focus on educating the market, creating liquidity to justify getting on the major tier 1 exchanges by the end of the year. So for us to justify the value, you've got to have a credible niche. And so in 2017, we were fortunate enough to meet and talk to the pioneers of what's called the tokenization revolution, primarily the people behind Ethereum. And then you realize the enormous potential for investment products around tokenization. And so that creates a really new investable asset class for the wealth sector. But we realized that to really succeed there, you had to have a very different sort of platform. Because when you look at the different sorts of opportunities created, obviously you've got the cryptocurrencies, but then you can use the tokens based on the blockchain, and the tokens will represent an underlying asset. It's why it's called an asset token. So it'll just provide either a much easier, more effective way to buy that asset, like a tokenization of gold, or it'll create a new opportunity where you imagine, publicly listed and attractive shares like Tesla. Most of the world can't buy that. And so by tokenizing it, suddenly the whole world will be able to gain access to these excited listed coins, just like property, which is really going to be, I think, the biggest one, which is you take these the highest quality property investment assets like the big commercial buildings, industrial buildings, the only way you get access through them is through some sort of property fund. But by tokenizing them, suddenly the average wealth investor can own a part of these platforms without the sort of middlemen, hopefully in a much more tradable way. Also, you can tokenize lending, income streams, and innovation funding, which we'll talk about in a second. And so where this market is today is very much a focus on the currencies. It's dominated by traders and speculators just excited about crypto. But this is going to evolve into wealth building, and the tokenization of assets is a much, much bigger potential market for everyone. So we looked at that and went, wow, here is a real opportunity that we can take advantage of, but it's going to be different. We need to act now. So when it comes to exchanges, you have the traditional trading exchange that people understand, like Binance. Then you've got the classic transactional exchanges that you see around the world, which simply helps you buy and sell cryptocurrencies. But they don't provide the sort of environment that wealth builders need. So we've been pioneering what we call a community exchange, which is a transactional exchange, but it has a lot more of a sort of quote unquote community, which is all about education, information, support that people need to look and get involved in this space on a wealth basis, not just having a speculating on a bit of Bitcoin, okay, but actually putting in money that they don't want to lose, that is all about a long-term wealth building strategy. And so that's what we've been doing for a number of years. As I said, the older wealth building crowd, they're non-tech, they're not very financially savvy. Well, some of them are, but they're not in this area. So what you have to do is you've got to offer them a product that they understand, not 100 coins, okay? You've got to offer them on a portfolio basis, which is what we've been pioneering. You've got to have a platform that is designed for them with this sort of mindset. You've got to have a much deeper, more active customer service. And especially you've got to be great at the education that's specific to this market, which we've been pioneering and think we're the world leaders at. We secure our customers' assets with the leading independent custody organization called BitGo, with a unique local control, which we think is the future. We've got the highest ranking as far as interface, but also it's importantly is that we believe these platforms must be locally owned, controlled. Okay, because they've got to be regulated locally, and that regulation is going to get more significant in the coming years. And so they've got to have that local security, and we've been pioneering this for nearly 3 years. Okay, now for us as an organization, when we saw this, we said, okay, rather than just focus on a country, what we can do as an organization is to actually create a global network, because if you want to look at who's probably going to be the local winner, they'll have that sort of platform. But then if they are part of a global family, so they can actually tap into global technology, global experience, global branding, they'll have such a competitive advantage versus other organizations. So we're building a global network, a global family of crypto wealth platforms, all locally controlled and regulated, okay? They'll be licensed. And what happens is that the Daxi coin is currently being used to drive customer acquisition and growth. And we've started the expansion process now. By the middle of next year, we should have a pretty strong global network of licensees, because that allows us to do the next thing, which is what we're going to do is on top of that, we're going to replace their platform with a new one based on a blockchain called the Daxi chain. And this is going to drive a new global innovation system. It's effectively tokenized crowdfunding, because if you look at the funding of innovative companies across the world, other than in Silicon Valley, even in the most developed countries in the world, there is a massive innovation gap where lots of really investable organizations are not getting either funding, or they don't get enough money, or they're controlled by venture capital organizations and others, so the entrepreneur doesn't have the sort of the control that they want. That's why people love crowdfunding, but crowdfunding doesn't work very well, which is why it's probably only a $10 billion global industry, and it should be a $1 trillion industry. And technology allows this to be created, and we've been pioneering this for over 3 years. And the coin is fundamental to drive that system. That's where its core use case is, because you've got to build your global investor base and community marketing organization. Okay, it's not about having crypto traders. It's not about putting it on things. It's actually, you need wealth builders. And so the DAXI chain, that blockchain, is going to facilitate the tokenization of these opportunities, where people will be able to fund these opportunities that they understand and they enjoy. And there are literally hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of opportunities across the world. And the coin will be used to simply and cheaply send those investments around the world. And so it's not a matter of paying a little thing. It's about being able to send $5,000, from Mexico to Scotland. Okay, and all of these different opportunities. This is what the technology allows you to do. Okay, and this is already a proven concept. Okay, and also the coin is used to pay blockchain fees like Ethereum. It's also as a exchange currency, which we actually need for the liquidity around the token. And this system will be launched next year, and is the primary driver and value of the coin. And for those people that are interested in DeFi, this is another niche in the decentralized finance sector. Okay, that, as I said, it's going to solve that innovation problem. And as an organization, we started actually in 2017, and people haven't heard of us because the market hasn't been right, and we've been developing our organization, and we are very happy to be a commercial organization. A lot of crypto companies are just about the tech. We are a commercial organization. We have 45 professionals all around the world in five offices. We have a heavily regulated focus. We have European crypto license, Austrac in Australia, and applications for other licensing around the world. We own our own code. We're very technologically strong with a tech team that have been working on this for over 3 years. And before that, they were the pioneers of building crypto exchanges networks anyway. Obviously, we have the highest security, and we have the proven licensees in the UK, Ireland, and in the Australian marketplaces. So that experience we're using now to roll out across the world. When it comes to the coin, we are, for those people that understand this space, we're an ERC20. We have a total supply of 10 billion coins that will never be increased. The circulating supply is 3.1 billion, so it's 31%. In fact, 16% of our coins are owned by customers who have vaulted or escrowed their coins from between 6 and 12 months. All right, and they've done that because they believe in the vision, and they know that in the early days of listing, the coins are pretty volatile because it's a pretty illiquid markets as you build that. Now, nearly every other coin is escrowed anyway, so we have that confidence that we have a limited circulating supply, which people, then traders, are confident about our marketplace. When you look on Etherscan, for those people that understand this, you will see a lot of the coins in a few wallets, and you need to understand that's what exchanges do. They pull all of the coins of all of their customers, and they put them in what's called hot and cold wallets. So only a few wallets hold the majority of the coins, and all exchanges do that. All right. We're also obviously listed on these major aggregators. So for us, it's important that we have a globally traded, highly liquid currency. So when it comes to listing on exchanges, you need to appreciate that you've got to be on a few. So it's a process, not a one-off event. And so traditionally, you've got a tech idea. They create a team, and they and they create a coin, and they sell their coin, and then they list it on an exchange and hope that's going to develop. And you imagine there's over 100 new coins every week, and it's a competitive marketplace. So if you want to get the attention of the larger trading organizations, you need to understand how liquidity works. Okay. And so when you go onto something like CoinMarketCap, you'll see the volumes of the coins that are listed. Okay, that's liquidity. And that comes from the different volumes on all the different exchanges that you're listed on. Okay. Now, those are traders. Okay, and they're mainly Asian. So you need to understand that's the strategy that you've got to employ. It's not just Asia, but it's all around the world, but it's trading exchanges. And also, exchanges are not all equal. We think there are 3 tiers. The first tier are the tier 1s. There's only maybe 6 or 7. They have tens of millions of traders, billions, if not tens of billions of dollars worth of daily trading. And the other thing I want you to understand is that they don't list a lot of coins. Like you can see on that right hand column of 10,000 odd coins, you're talking maybe 3 odd percent. Some of them it's less than 1%. Okay, so they're the big ones that you want to get on. Then you've got tier 2s, and there's maybe 20 or 30 odd of these big exchanges. They have millions of traders. They have hundreds of millions, if not billions of dollars worth of daily trading. And they don't list a lot of coins. For the general new coins, they have to start with a tier 3 exchange. And there are a few of them all around the world that list new coins. There are also other tier 3 exchanges which may be strong locally, but the problem is that, as you can see with this example, 99.4% of all of their volume is focused on the top coins. So they're not valuable if you're a new coin. If you want to gain liquidity as a new coin, you've got to target getting on those tier 1 and tier 2 exchanges, and it's hard because to attract the traders, really you've got to end up in the top 100 coins on something like CoinMarketCap. You've got to get on the first page of Google, okay? That's our philosophy. And the challenge is that if you look at the first page of Google, of CoinMarketCap, and then go on to the second one, the 200th coin that you can see there has a market cap of $103 million, yet 201, so the third page, that coin has a $3 billion value. And the reason they do that is because they want to have credibility in the valuation, okay? So you can't just list your coin on some rubbish exchange, have this sort of $3 billion market cap. I'm not saying that this is a rubbish coin, but it's like you can't just inflate that. So what they do is they say, for you to get on the top 2 pages, the top 200, you've got to list on 3 of these key exchanges, and they are tier 1 and 2. So your strategy is you got to get on 3 of those. And so that's obviously our strategy. We also don't ignore the potential volume that comes out of decentralized exchanges, which weren't much a year ago, but now are actually producing pretty exciting volumes. Okay, so obviously that's also part of our strategy to create a globally liquid coin. We've done the stage 1. We're now focused on stage 2, these tier 2 exchanges and decentralized, to get into that top 200 on CoinMarketCap, to prove ourselves as a currency to then list on the really, really big guys. And so that's what we're doing. We're building our community of people who are interested in our coin. We hope you'll join us on Daxi Coin Community on Telegram. So, we believe and hope you understand that we are leading a major $1 trillion niche. We are in the second stage of our listing process, and we hope that you appreciate that we're very serious about this marketplace, and we think we have the right strategy in place. So if you have any questions, please ask us. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.